Welcome back, folks. Today I want to discuss with you why you can't buy your way to being a better shot, or why it is you can't buy enough gear to make you a better shot. So, to start, why do we buy gear? Why do we keep buying gear? Well, some things are supplemental and some things are necessary. A holster is a pretty good piece of gear to have for a handgun. A sling or a scabbard is a pretty good piece of gear to have for a rifle. Maybe you're shooting a longer range hunting rifle. Hey, a scope's a great piece of gear to have. Not all gear is bad, but a lot of times we get caught up in this gamut of buying gear also we can improve, and we never really improved anything. And it doesn't help that we've got this marketing and constant stream of videos and articles. And yes, I know the hypocrisy of me saying that is I'm a YouTuber and I have a website where I write reviews for things. I don't really write reviews for a lot of gear, but I do write marksmanship and reloading forwarded content. So I know there can be a little bit of hypocrisy here, but stick with me, folks. Why do we gravitate towards buying gear? It's an easy fix. As long as you've got the pocketbook to back it up. Hey, I can't shoot. Well, I'm not shooting my handgun all that well, so let's try this new trigger. You go out and you buy the new trigger, and maybe you improve a little bit, but you didn't improve to how well you wanted. So, oh, I know, trigger didn't fix it, so I'm going to go buy a red dot for my handgun. Okay, well, now you got a trigger and a red dot, and hey, maybe improved a little more, but you still don't shoot near as well as you wanted to. Well, trigger and the red dot didn't do it. Maybe a compensator will do it. A compensator to help me handle brake, or a porting job. That'll help me control the recoil. That'll do it. And before long, you buy gear after gear after gear after gear. And what you wind up with is a tub full of gear, an empty wallet, and you're still no better a shooter than when you started. Ask me how I know. Folks, I'm telling you this stuff because I've done it before. If I turned the camera around and took you over to the rack just on the other side of the room, you'd see a lot of gear that I bought thinking it was going to make me a great shooter, and well, it didn't. Now, you might notice this fairly basic rifle here on the table and say, what could this possibly have to do with gear? Well, the reason I've got this out here is if you can't shoot a basic platform like this, well, this is as basic gets. It is a 22 Henry rifle. No, I'm not sponsored. Henry has no clue who I am. I just like this rifle, so this is the one that I decided to show you with. But it's very basic. It holds, I believe, 15 rounds of 22 long rifle, standard lever action with a half cock safety position. There's no safeties on it other than that half cock or quarter cock, some people call it, but a basic manual repeating arm with basic iron sights. Now this one eventually will have peep sights. You'll notice as we go on, a lot of my rifles tend to have peep sights because I shoot those really well. But even this basic blade front sight, if you can't shoot this well, you probably can't shoot. And I don't say that to be mean. And yes, I know there are people who have eyesight concerns and they can't see regular sights, but maybe they can see a red dot. I understand that, but let's be honest, that's not most people. Most people who go out buying all this fancy gear have perfectly fine eyesight to shoot. Maybe it's not perfect eyesight, but it's good enough to shoot with. If you can't shoot this well, you probably can't shoot. If you can't pick up a modern striker fired polymer pistol, I would say a Glock, but M&P, XD, whatever, I don't care what it is. If you can't pick that up out of the box and shoot it well, you probably can't shoot. If you have to go adding triggers and different sights and, you know, different springs and different connectors and all these different things to be able to shoot a half decent group, you can't shoot. And I don't say that to be mean. I say that so that you'll realize, hey, let me take some stripped down gun like this Henry 22 and actually learn how to shoot. This thing is cheap to shoot, and I got thousands and thousands of rounds of 22 sitting just off camera to the right. Take something out like this. Work on those principles of marksmanship. And I'm sure by now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you've heard me harp on principles of marksmanship. There is a reason why, folks. That is the stuff that works. Learning how to shoot on something like this is what works. If you can shoot this well, you can probably shoot most other things well. If you can shoot a standard double action revolver well, you can shoot most things well. If you can pick up a standard auto pistol, you shoot it well. You can shoot a red dotted pistol. You can shoot some whiz bang competition pistol. You got to build your fundamentals. We walk before we run, folks. We crawl before we walk. And if it means that you have to step aside from that pretty $4,000 rifle that you acquitted out, well, so be it. Go get you some. I mean, what was this? I think I paid $250 or $300 when I bought this. It's been a few years. Maybe it's a little more. I really don't remember. But I know it was under $400. And I know there are a lot of 22s you can get dirt cheap. Go out, buy a 22, learn these fundamentals of marksmanship. And this isn't the only 22 that I've got. It's just the one that I had handy, and it's one of my favorite ones, and I think it's a real pretty rifle, so I like to put it on camera. I've got a 22 handgun just off camera. I've got several other 22s upstairs in the safe. Go get these and work on marksmanship. Or if you got the budget in the pocketbook, hey, take your 9mm out in your AR, work with your iron sights, and work on getting better with those. But quit buying gear trying to make yourself a better shooter. It's not going to work out for you. Now, you might come back and say, well, I bought a trigger and I instantly shot better groups. And yeah, you probably did. But all this gear that you buy, it has a performance ceiling. It can only help you improve so much. But when you hit that ceiling, you're done. Everything else is up to you. So yeah, that trigger helped you shot better groups, but you went from a 10-inch group to an 8-inch group at 5 yards. Did you really do all that much? If you think you did, good for you, but I know for me that wouldn't be enough. Now, I've seen firsthand, and this is one of my favorites, and it's most common with right-handed pistol shooters shooting modern pistols with regular sights that haven't been modified. And they say, well, my gun shoots a foot low and left. Really? Your gun at 7 yards shoots a foot low and left. It came regulated from the factory, a foot low and left. Now, before we get too far into this, folks, I'm going to acknowledge there have been some production guns that come out with some less than optimal regulated sights. But a foot low and left, friends, that's not the gun, that's you. And in my life, I have never encountered a gun that truly shot. Let me qualify this a little more. I have yet to encounter a modern striker-fired handgun, common like what people would use for concealed carry or target shooting or range practice or something like that. I have yet to encounter one of these that actually shot a foot low and left. What I have encountered is dozens and dozens and dozens of shooters who have a foot low and left trigger flinch, and they're not pulling their trigger correctly. So, no, the gun doesn't shoot a foot low and left. You shoot a foot low and left. And I've had arguments with close friends of mine and some family members when we go out to the range, and they say, well, this gun shoots a foot low and left. I say, let me see it. And I can stack them right in the center. Now, I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back that I'm the greatest shooter in the world, because I'm most certainly not. But my point is, the gun ain't shooting a foot low and left. That's you. So I want to issue you all a challenge, and you can do it with what you've got. You can get something different if you have to. I want you to get a basic rifle and a basic handgun. Now, if you want to go buy like a 22 rifle and a 22 handgun, that's fine. If you want to take some whiz-bang rifle that you've already got kitted out and strip that thing down and strip everything off your handgun, that's fine. But just take the rifle as it is. Something as it is. And even for me, I'm gonna do this too. I'm gonna do it with y'all. I'm gonna shoot this rifle as it is, without the addition of a peep sight. I'm gonna shoot these basic blade and post sights. Take the rifle, take the handgun as they are, and shoot them. Don't change them for 1,000 rounds, and see if your shooting improves. Now, what else do we need to do? We're going to come right back. Principles of marksmanship, your mental process and your physical process. If you combine those things and you combine a basic rifle and a basic handgun, you really work on your marksmanship, you will be amazed at the improvements that you see. I've done this before and I'm going to do it again just because I haven't done it for a while and it's fun to do. And it should go without saying, the shooting needs to be mindful shooting. This is not mag dumping into trash. I don't mag dump into trash, and I don't recommend you do either, unless you're standing on a trash mound and you say, hey, see that milk carton at 40 yards? I'm going to put a bullet right through the M. Well, then that's fine. But if you're just mag dumping into a dirt berm, that's not going to help you at all. And if that's what you like doing, hey, keep doing it. But for those of us that want to get better, that's not how you're going to do it. Folks, I want to hear from you. Head on down to the comments and tell me what your favorite stripped down rifle and handgun to practice is, or what rifle you plan on changing, or if you got to buy one. Let me know what those are. But until next time, this is Chuck with Practical Marksmanship Reloaded.